Hey folks, how you doing? I hope everything's going great. I know it's been a while since y'all heard from me. Probably last Monday was the last time y'all heard from me. So I'm making another video today while the weather is good. As you know, last Monday I talked about black people just want to be left alone. But I want to talk about some things that are going on. Of course, I live in the 7th Congressional District in Alabama. They have officially, the courts have officially said it's okay for the state of Alabama to go back to their original maps in 2021. So they null and voided recent election as far as our House seats go, um, which is awful because the people spoke and they have decided what they wanted in their primaries, who they wanted to see in the main election. That's happening now. This may be appealed to the Supreme Court. We'll see what happens once it gets to the Supreme Court, if they're okay with it, because it was the Supreme Court originally said that with Alabama, how they drew their map was not okay. So we'll see how this goes. It's very hot today, so if y'all see me sweating, it's because it's hot. So I'm saying my part about that to say this, because we've also heard the news about the boycott for the NCAA, especially the SEC. So I'm going to put it like this, because people aren't really talking about this the way they should. I'm a former player. When I played football, you got a scholarship, you played for the team you played for. If you transferred, you had to sit out a year, if you even got to, and unless you dropped down to a lower division, say you're a division FBS player, what they call football bowl subdivision team, you can drop down to an FCS team, which is a football playoff team, basically. Lower division, different way how they do things. Now I understand college football has playoffs at the higher level, at both levels now. That's great. But at that time, it was a lower level team. It's still a lower level team. They still call them basically Division One and Division One AA. That's what they used to call them back in the day. So if you played for that team, then, if you played for that lower division team, you could play that year. But otherwise, if you transferred to another school that was on your same level, you had to sit out a year. Here's the other thing. If you played football, of course, you're a student athlete. Keyword is they call you a student athlete. So that means you don't get certain benefits that an employee would get. What I mean is like insurance and those things. So like when I broke my hand or had injuries to both my knees, that came out of my parents' money. So school wouldn't have to do that. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is during the NIL, there's a move to a certain degree to make student athletes employees of the school, which is, of course, making money off of those particular athletes. So there's a SCORE Act by Congress that's currently out that is seeking to allow for exemptions for schools, so then that they can't make the student athletes employees of the school, and can also limit NIL money and deals and certain things like that. It's supposed to be about revenue sharing and all this stuff between the schools, make it fair, which it won't. But this exemption makes it worse. Also, if you're not labeled as a student athlete, that means you're not getting insurance. You may be getting a check for your NIL. They're paying you for that, but then if you get injured or you get hurt, all those guarantees are out the window unless you've got an insurance that you've purchased, right? So here we are back to square one again if they go ahead and pass that bill. Okay, back to the boycott. Why I think the boycott is necessary. Boycott is necessary for two reasons. The Black Caucus of Congress stopped this particular bill. They refused to vote on the bill, therefore that stopped the bill. But by way of removing these particular individuals through these gerrymandered districts, it will lessen the number of people in the Black Caucus, giving the white majority a chance to go ahead and vote on the SCORE Act, which they think is a great thing to fix NIL. Now, that's not the only reason. The other reason is this: black representation means everything, and I understand what college football money, pro football money, all the money that they generate. They do not, that black players have to realize the power they have. Not only are they making the money, they're also making money for the people they're working for. That your voice is always important. Same thing I've always said about rappers and singers and other artists, the music you put out influences the music they put out influences our society and what happens in the world. The product you put on the field is influencing our world. You have political power. If you decide to walk off that field, if you decide not to play, it has higher implications, because sports is a pacifier in our society. But if you guys aren't playing basketball, playing football, baseball, whatever, and you're not on that field, the pacifier is not there. It turns the focus on the people who are in power and the politics that's at play. It is time for them to stand up for us. We have to break the system. It is the only way. The system has to be broken so it can be built the right way again. And that's all I have to say.